Touch me, hold me, sign my cast for me, will me.
Hello, and welcome to Rendy Reviews, where I, Rendy Jones, review the latest in film and television. Today, we'll be reviewing Dear Evan Hansen, the film adaptation based on the hit Broadway musical by Stephen Levinson, with music by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul. The film is directed by Steven Chbosky, written by Stephen Levinson, and stars Ben Platt, Caitlin Dever, Amanda Stenberg, Nick Dodani, Colton Ryan, Danny Pino, Julianne Moore, and Amy Adams. Taken from the Universal Pictures official synopsis, Evan Hansen, a young man beset by a social anxiety disorder, is ordered by his therapist to write self-addressed motivational letters to himself in order to improve his disposition and communication skills. After one of these missives is stolen by a classmate who subsequently takes his own life, the deceased parents believe it to be a genuine note intended for Evan, who ingratiates himself with the family. As this relationship deepens, he begins to truly understand what it means to belong. Every cast member who has to hold a tune steals the limelight in their respective musical numbers. Amanda Stenberg has a wonderful voice, Caitlin Dever has an amazing voice, Julianne Moore, who has it sang since high school, shines so brightly. Amy Adams. It's been a whole decade since America's underdog Amy Adams sang in a musical feature. Dear Evan Hansen is the first time since the Muppets, the friggin' Muppets, where she sings on screen and she still got the voice. Everyone brings their A-game vocal range to the film, and by God, they all deserve better than this dumpster fire of a musical adaptation. When a smash Broadway show reaches a certain level of popularity, the next logical decision is to adapt it for the big screen. Lately, Universal Pictures has been proven that certain musicals just don't make for a good feature. Tom Hooper's adaptation of Cats was a prime example of that in 2019. Hell, some might argue that Tom Hooper's adaptation of Les Miserables was a prime example of that in 2012. But I actually like that movie. Dear Evan Hansen doubles down on that notion. Evan Hansen suffers from social anxiety disorder and feels invisible at his school and at home with his single mom, who is busy working at a hospital and barely has time to see her son. He's so incredibly alone that nobody would sign his cast on his broken arm. As part of an assignment from his therapist, Evan writes letters to himself to express his innermost thoughts and feelings. When he prints his paper out at school, the angsty and misunderstood Connor Murphy finds it. Because the letter happens to mention Connor's sister Zoe, whom Evan has a crush on, Connor takes the letter in a huff. A few days later, Connor's parents show up at the school in shambles. They tell Evan that the letter was the last piece of their son they had left, assuming that it was a suicide note and that they were friends. They also see Connor's signature on his cast, since he was the only person who signed it prior to his passing. So to give them a peace of mind during trying times, Evan creates a small white lie. When this little fib brings him closer to Connor's family, including Zoe, he starts spinning a large web of lies that just get extremely messy. When musical productions are performed on stage, there's a certain illusion that is held by an audience that will power them through a show. You're not there to criticize the story itself, but the music and the performances and the stage presence. Theater and film are two different realms that hold vastly different suspensions of disbelief. For someone like Ben Platt, who has played this character for the majority of his 20s, his performance comes off as disingenuous for a number of reasons. Though his voice is pitch perfect as usual, see what I did there? This 27-year-old
Man, baby!
physically looks too old to portray this teenager. He looks so out of place because he doesn't have those babyface attributes to translate this character's leap to film. To further how weird this is for me, the first movie I saw Platt in was Pitch Perfect, where he played a college freshman. When that movie was released, I was a freshman in high school. 9 years later, I'm a post-undergrad college student, and he's playing a high school senior. It's utterly distracting. From the get-go, you'll be playing the Try Not to Laugh challenge when Evan comes down in the opening song, waving through a window, and his mom says the words,
"You're a senior in high school."
No matter how beautiful Ben's voice is and how wonderful it is to hear him sing these, I guess, beloved songs with a cinematic orchestra blaring behind him, it's difficult to take this performance seriously when he physically towers over others. He just exudes major "how do you do, fellow kids" energy. It doesn't help that there are extras who look like kids filling the halls, so it makes him look more out of place. Apart from that, the motion in his performance is very theatrical. He's acting as if he's on stage. Through his physicality, Platt's cartoonish depiction gives this character, who is meant to have social anxiety, more mental illnesses than he's supposed to possess. This is what someone who's never met a socially awkward person thinks a socially awkward person behaves. I adore director Steven Chbosky, who has done many great film adaptations of beloved novels, including his own The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Given that this is his first musical feature, the cinematic quality lacks splendor. Chbosky maintains his signature flair, using a grounded and personalized lens for his characters to deliver realism. But with various techniques and shot compositions being completely handheld and sequences that are on a Disney Channel level of quality as far as cinematography goes, it's completely underwhelming. The musical numbers vary in quality and most lack creativity. By the time Be Found comes on, it's like an after-school PSA commercial. Theater and film alike, Dear Evan Hansen has always had a batshit problematic premise. Stephen Levinson's writing comes off as cloying, irresponsible, and as messy as the hateful lead himself. Evan Hansen is a detestable protagonist, devoid of any heart or charm, for he spends the movie spreading lies about a kid's suicide to various sincere, yet one-note characters for self-gain. There even comes to a point where the man is committing fraud. Like, legit money gets involved and he's fucking committing fraud. The more damaging Evan's lies become, the more confident he gets about himself. The boy gets everything he ever wanted by gaslighting just about everyone around him. Never for a moment do you get a sense of humanity or empathy weighing on him. Everything about this experience is depicted as therapeutic for him, while being unrelenting and unapologetic for his actions. Because the film omits numbers from the play that gives the audience some form of a soul for its lead, it results him looking more like a genuine sociopath than a pathological liar. The most egregious moments of Evan's disgusting behavior occurs when you get scenes featuring his loving, hard-working mom, Heidi, who is the absolute sweetest and is the only character who feels dimensional and real. He pushes his mom away in such a spiteful manner where his speech pattern and body language switch up on a dime. By the time he tells his mom off for doing a genuine, logical thing for his benefit, he hits the point of no return and you despise him. When the inevitable liar's reveal occurs and the film tries to go into his redemption arc, I'm like, buddy, we have reached the center of the earth in irredeemability. I fucking hate this guy. Listen, if you position this story from the Murphy family's point of view, it'd be like a psychological thriller similar to Parasite, since the grieving Murphy family is rich and this lower class kid finds his way in their unit and dates their daughter. Alas, you follow this Joker type lead, and much like that movie, Dear Evan Hansen offensively blames Evan's actions on his mental illness. Yay! Levis's script, just like the playbook of the show, thinks it actually explores the heavy subject matter of mental health and suicide, while the lead character is straight up exploiting it. Man, this entire story has always been fucked up, and somehow this adaptation makes it even worse. As far as Little White Lies storylines go, Dear Evan Hansen is on the same spectrum of cringe as
Can't touch this.
The telegraph direction that Chbosky brings to the big screen is as much of a dud as John M. Chu's Gem and the Holograms movie. The ill-conceived and irresponsible plot is offensive and emotionally manipulative, as you're completely detached from a hella unlikable lead making selfish and sociopathic decisions throughout. Congrats, Sia! Your music has a drinking buddy, and his name is Evan Hansen. Good luck defending this mess, musical theater people. I do not feel bad for y'all at all. Dear Evan Hansen is slated for release on September 24th, 2021. If you're watching this review post or prior to the film's release, tell me what you think about the film or my review. Do you agree or disagree with my takes? Leave a comment in the comment section below. And hey, before you go, like and subscribe to the video. This is one of the first of many Rendy Reviews video reviews. Thank you for watching. I'm Rendy Jones, and I'll see you on the next one.